the kicker. That's Cameron Dicker set to get us started.
And we are underway here in Los Angeles.
From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time. And here's the new man under center after 9 seasons as a Raider. Derek Carr is the guy.
It's going to take some time to adjust to seeing Carr running out in a new uniform instead of black and silver. It's black and gold. 35,000 yards and over 200 touchdowns with the Raiders. The Saints more than willing to let him air it out all game long to a talented group of pass catchers in the Big Easy.
In his 7th season now, here's Alvin Kamara.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Carr to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
Returnable here for Davis. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
So the Charger offense making its way out. And at the controls is the league's 2nd leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
The Chargers just continue to improve and take steps forward under the quiet leadership of Herbert, who's been the most productive quarterback in league history through his first 3 seasons. Over 4,700 yards last year. He's expecting to crack the 5,000-yard mark in this season.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At about the 32. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. A good pickup there at 22.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. At that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
Now the 7-year veteran, Austin Eckler. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 15 more yards there and quickly another 1st down.
Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back to back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Herbert. There goes a deep ball, end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Herbert now. And that is incomplete.
don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. On the return, here's Rashid Shaheed. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3-and-out on their opening drive. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Here's Carr. And this one complete to Smith.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up first and goal. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3-and-out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And not a good time for the sack on second and goal. A loss of 6. And now it's third down.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Kenneth Murray, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up fourth down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So on fourth down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Charger football to start quarter number 2. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Eckler now puts it on the carpet. It's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down. Here's Herbert. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's going to air one out. Touchdown, Chargers.
Trey McKinney.
34 yards. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead is now 10-3. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Saints.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
That's caught right side by Palmer.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And this one is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
Eckler's long been one of the most underrated players in the NFL, but he's now starting to get his due. 915 yards, a career best last season, with 13 touchdowns on the ground.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down, L.A.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Running on first down, Eckler. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Herbert. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side.
Maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Carr. And that is incomplete.
And that is every quarterback's worst nightmare. You had the perfect play call. The C's parted perfectly. You had your guy wide open. He could have run for days, but he overshoots it. And that's one they'll think about for the next month.
Here's Blake Gillikin now.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 32-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. We're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3?
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
Got a man, it's complete, it's Palmer.
Well, the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Herbert operating from the red zone. On the screen, this is Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now it's Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. To the air again, Herbert. Slant route going to be caught by Palmer. Touchdown! Josh Palmer as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So the potential could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that makes it a 17-10 score.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown.
Apologies to Coach. Cut him short. We'll talk to him post-game. We got business to get down to. Third quarter action ready to go.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter.
This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have the control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Herbert now. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw again. Herbert.
And that one complete to his receiver, Palmer.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 42. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Up the middle with Eckler. Nifty move.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Herbert on first down now. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Herbert. It's Williams on the catch. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Draw play, it's Eckler. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
On first down, Carr.
There's Chris Olave.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Carr on the bootleg.
And that is caught downfield by Thomas.
27 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Kamara out of the pistol.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Shotgun now for Carr. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Carr. This is Smith with a grab. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 37 yards.
And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler.
And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. On 1st down, Justin Herbert.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Here's Herbert.
That's caught right side by Palmer.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Gonna throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to pick up the 1st across midfield to the 47. That one good for 13 and a Charger 1st.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Herbert throwing again.
Into the hands of Williams across the formation.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. They'll find Everett there, complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A handoff, it's Eckler. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Eckler.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Chargers will add to their fourth quarter lead. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Carr going to lead the Saints up here first and 10
at their own 24.
And he'll start with a give to Kamara.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On second down, here's Carr. And Thomas has it. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. They're going to look to throw.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Carr again. Johnson with a completion over the middle.
And he is going to have a Saints first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Carr's throw complete there to Smith.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Shifts by at the 15. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
To throw, it's Carr. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. A 10th carry for Kamara. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Saints have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
L.A. set to take over again on offense. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at early's opportunity, or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
Holding offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
2nd and 20. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw.
They'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Herbert. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up.
Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now it's Herbert. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
.38-yard line, 2nd and 11.
On the give, this is Eckler.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Excited for this one today, and certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well, and always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.